Since the announcement of 5.4 managed to hype up literally nobody, besides I guess the one person who wants to pull for Mizuki, although she's a standard banner character, that's going to be the new star player in the I Play Your 50/50 Losing Nightmare squad, I decided to take you guys on a little adventure beyond the empty land of 5.4. An adventure to a place where you can find some actual exciting stuff. Now before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date with everything from news, new uploads and streams, and also join our Discord server where you can find like-minded people who like everything from anime to gacha games, and where we also do giveaways and so much more. And yes, you guessed it right, my dear friend. Today we're looking at 5.5 rumors. Leaks. Sorry, I just had something stuck in my throat. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna call them rumors because A, everything is always subject to change before the actual release, and B, leaks are taken very seriously by Hoyo, and I don't want my channel to be taken down, nor do I want my bloodline to be put on pause by the overlords themselves, so just know that there will be no footage shown because of that. I also don't want to spoil the game too much, so I won't go over story points, I won't go over cutscenes or anything that might actually spoil the fun for you in terms of gameplay. I will, however, go over regions, artifacts, and the new characters Varesa and Yansan, as well as their kits, which, let me tell you, on paper they look amazing and they are sure to break a few wallets. But if you don't want to be one of the ones with a broken down wallet, then make sure to check out lootbar.gg, a website that offers top-ups for both Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail at much better price, and the sponsor of this video. With Lootbar you can get prices up to 23% cheaper and an 8% off coupon code for new users to get started in the best way possible. Take this package for example, why would you not want to get more value out of your money? And I know this is all great, but what's even better is the fact that Lootbar is completely safe, boasting both great reviews and having cooperated with multiple well-known creators such as Raiden Shotgun, NoCap, Dukaja, and many more. So here's how easy and fast it is to top up, only requiring your user ID and server region. After all, Lootbar has the exact same routing as the in-game store, so if for example you want to top up 6400 crystals, you'll get the top up bonus you're familiar with, which is twice the crystals, only at a much better price and with the delivery being done within half an hour. But it gets even better, since with Lootbar you can purchase 4 6400 Genesis crystal packs for only $295 with only one convenient payment operation, saving you nearly $100 in the process. So don't walk, run to the website and get yourself the best deals possible and exclusive discounts by using the links in the description and pinned comment. And so yes, with 5.5 we're getting two new characters, a 5-star and a 4-star. The 4-star in question is a character we've already seen for like 5 seconds during the entirety of the Archon quest, which is Yansan. She will be the teammate for Varesa, which is the 5-star in question. Now Yansan's kit looks very promising, with some people even calling her the Electro Bennett, and that's because her elemental burst has her stomping the ground, and I kid you not, I wish I could show you footage because she literally looks like she's going Super Saiyan for a second, and it's absolutely hilarious seeing a kid character in Genshin go Super Saiyan mode, especially after lifting something like a 300-pound dumbbell like she's doing in her idle animations. But yeah, she stomps the ground, dealing AoE electro damage, and summons a special kinetic marker. Now this is where things get interesting because this might finally be the end of Circle Impact, and Bennett maybe. This kinetic marker follows the active character and increases their attack based on Yansan's Night Soul points. If she has less than 42 points, the buff will be based on both her attack and her points. If she has over 42 points, the buff will only be based on her attack value. Now this marker also records movement distance of the active character, excluding Yansan, and based on this distance, Yansan will recover some Night Soul points. Also, the marker disappears after like 1 second if you're out of combat, so do keep that in mind. Her elemental skill is obviously a lot simpler, it just has her dashing forward doing electro damage with a unique property. Again, what the unique property is supposed to mean I have no idea, but she does electro damage to enemies in her path, and after dashing she can attack again to perform a thunderous dive, which is just a plunge attack. This attack is awesome because it consumes no stamina and it restores her Night Soul points completely, allowing her to enter the Night Soul Blessing state. And fun fact, while she's in her Night Soul Blessing state, she can run faster and jump higher, allowing her to move around the weird fucked up terrain that Natlan has to offer somewhat more efficiently. Now Varesa's kit is even better, she's quite literally Cowgirl Sonic, and I'm saying this not only because she's a thick cowgirl, but when she gets her speed boost similar to Yansan, she starts doing the circle running animation that Sonic does, which is just so hilarious. Now her kit is a lot of things, I don't really know how to describe it. I mean, she has an electro headbutt that sends her into the air for a charge attack, and the plunging attack from that will also deal electro damage, giving her 25 Night Soul points. Now when she reaches the maximum Night Soul points from doing these attacks, she enters the Fiery Passion state, which will enhance all of her attacks, with the plunging attack consuming all of her Night Soul points to basically basically do more damage to a larger area. Her elemental skill would literally create a book thicker than the Bible, but to put it simply, she dashes forward dealing electro damage, and after casting she gets 20 Night Soul points and the Pursuit effect, which gives A, resistance to interruptions, and B, it gives her the ability to do a charge attack without consuming stamina. All of this ends obviously after the charge attack. Now this skill has two modes depending on whether you hold or tap it, and if you tap it she just quickly dashes forward, while if you hold it down she enters a rapid advance mode where she consumes Night Soul points in exchange for higher mobility and immunity to damage from liquid phlogiston, similar to Yansan. Oh, and before I forget, they can both apparently move over water while being in this mobility buffed state. Her elemental burst is thankfully a lot more simple. She does a flying kick. Yep, that's pretty much it. Obviously, she does get some buffs from this. Her Night Soul points are fully restored and she enters the Fiery Passion state where she gets a buff to her damage and also goes into a limit drive mode after doing one plunge attack, in which she can do an extra special elemental burst with reduced energy cost. And if you're wondering, yes, it's another plunging attack. She really is the Sonic Cowgirl pogo stick incarnate, it seems. And it makes a whole lot of sense because we're also getting 2 new artifact sets. Now, this is long overdue. We've only had one domain to farm in Natlan since the beginning of Natlan, which isn't necessarily bad since at least you always got pieces that you needed. But man, it gets boring insanely fast. Like, if you're gonna torment me with us artifacts from dusk till dawn, at least do it in different places so the torture has some diversity to it. I'm gonna be honest with you, at times it felt like I was getting the goddamn Chinese water drop treatment. So getting a new place to farm artifacts will be a very, very welcome breath of fresh air. Obviously, the first set is focused on going with your character since it buffs plunging attacks by 25% for the 2-piece bonus, and for the 4-piece bonus gives you stacks of everlasting radiance from all types of attacks you do, which, you guessed it, 15% damage buff to plunging attacks per stack, baby. Let's go! The second set is for cryo enjoyers, with the 2-piece bonus being a 15% buff to cryo damage, while the 4-piece is a 60% damage buff to both normal attacks and elemental bursts with a 6-second cooldown in between each type of attack. Now this sounds great, but it only works if the character has 0 energy, so that might not be so useful in the end, I'm not sure, but the effects can be triggered even if the character is off field, so that's nice. We're also getting a new region. Finally, after waiting for summer between the beginning of the Bronze Age and the heat death of the universe, 5.5 is adding a new region. And yes, it's the Great Volcano of Tolan. And I know you're thinking about it, and yes, it's the same volcano that's beautifully erected right next to the springs in Natlan. Now this area actually looks to be huge based on what was leaked so far. I obviously can't show anything yet, but it will have a lot of layers and a special map to go through, and it makes a ton of sense. After all, the patch size is rumored to be, and you're not ready for it, 76 gigabytes. Yep. This is one fat fucking patch, and I'm not sure if it's because of how thick Varesa is or because of how massive the volcano is, but I reckon we'll find out in the near future anyway. Obviously the patch won't add 76 gigs to the already massive size of the game. A lot of the stuff will probably be compressed and whatnot, but it's still funny to point out how big the game is slowly getting. This is also the place where we'll be introduced to the Collective of Plenty, also known as the Forgotten Homies, aka the last tribe left, and so it's safe to assume we'll get a new little electro pet to help us explore the region. I mean, at least that's what it looks like based on the Genshin Wikipedia. And I think we'll also have a world quest tied to it, just like every single region ever released in this game so far. But nothing's been leaked yet in terms of like quests and stuff, so this is just more of an assumption on my side. Take it with a grain of salt, and really, realistically, take absolutely everything in this video with a massive grain of salt. Since we're dealing with leaks and rumors and stuff, everything, just like I said in the beginning, is subject to change. So keep an eye out for whatever changes there might be. But this was pretty much it for today's video. Just a little adventure into the land of the leaks. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, it would really mean the world to me if you could do that, and drop a comment below letting me know what you think of these leaks. Also, while at it, make sure to join the Discord community server, links for it are in the description, and until the next time, see ya!